போடவா தோப்புக்கானம் போடவா நான் பாடவா பாட்டு பாடி ஆடவா.
Hello, vanakkam and welcome to Paatu Kekka Vaa. Idhu oru kutti sound bite of the usual big Tamil show that I do, and I wanted to bring this for you on Radio Karva. So hopefully you're enjoying these bite-sized segments that I'm bringing to you, one or two songs each time, just to rekindle your interest in music. And இன்னைக்கு ஏன் புள்ளியார் பாட்டோட ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன்னா பிகாஸ் கணேஷ் சதுர்த்தி இஸ் ஸ்டில் கோயிங் ஆன். நீங்கள் நினைக்கலாம் கணேஷ் சதுர்த்தி 22nd முடிஞ்சு போச்சு ஃபார் Tamilians, but it's still going on for the rest of the people who are celebrating. It is there for 10 days every year, so it's still going on. So கொஞ்சம் லேட் இன் விஷிங் Tamilians-ஆக இருந்தாலும் லேட்டாக வந்தாலும் லேட்டஸ்ட்டாக வந்திருக்கேன், அதை நீங்கள் அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணணும். And hopefully you had a lovely Ganesh Chaturthi celebration. Mine is still going on. You know, every year நான் என்ன பண்ணுவேன்னா I take some clay or chapati maavu or something like that, some biodegradable, some eco-friendly material, and make a pulliyar out of it, and pulliyar and mooshik out of it. And in the varsham I don't know why I didn't really check the instructions on the clay. Now the quick drying clay path, I just thought, okay, you know what, it should take a couple of hours for it to dry. So I started making the pulliyar on the 22nd and thought, okay, it'll take about 2-3 hours to dry, and then after that we'll paint it. So by the end of the day it should be good to go, right? And we can do puja and all of that. So that was the plan. அது என்ன ஆச்சுன்னா அது காயறது காஞ்சிண்டே இருக்கு, இன்னமும் காஞ்சிண்டே இருக்கு. I'm like, okay, what is this clay that is supposed to be air drying but it's taking forever to dry? What's going on with that? So இதில் moral of the story என்னன்னா, புள்ளியார் சதுர்த்தி அன்னைக்கு புள்ளியார் பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்காதீங்க, முன்னாடியே பண்ணுங்க, பண்ணி ரெடியாக வச்சுக்கோங்க. So that even if it takes 10 days, well, you still have time to get it ready for Vinayaka Chaturthi. And that is my message to you. It's what I'm going to practice next year. I will get my pulliyar ready well ahead of time and have it ready on the day that Ganesh Chaturthi is being celebrated. When it is done, when it's done drying and I finish painting it, I will put it up. I will put up a picture, and adhu why don't you share pictures of the celebrations that you have done? What have you been doing? Neenga enna panneenga? என்னெல்லாம் ஸ்வீட்ஸ் பண்ணீங்க வீட்டில்? மோதகம் பண்ணீங்களா? did you make your own pulliyar? What is it do you usually do to celebrate Pulliyar Chaturthi, and how do you actually bring in the Ganpati? Do you do Visarjan? Because in some houses they don't believe in doing Visarjan because it is the family deity, and it is believed that you should neither welcome him nor should you send him off. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரியெல்லாம் பிலீஃப் இருக்குது. ஸோ நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? what do you do? Write in the comments and let me know about it. நான் ஃபுல் சாங்ஸ் உங்களுக்காக ப்ளே பண்ண முடியாது ஃபேஸ்புக்கில், உங்களுக்கு தெரிய ஒரு காப்பிரைட் இருக்குது. பட் குட்டி பைட்ஸ் ஆஃப் த சாங்ஸ் I'll be playing. Either I'll cut it short or I'll talk over it so that it runs in the background. But the idea of bringing songs to you at all is just so that sometimes these songs, you may have forgotten them, you may not have heard them in a long time, but then when you hear a little bit of a song, you're like, இந்த பாட்டு எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்குமே அப்படின்னு நீங்கள் நினச்சி you will go and listen to the entire song later on. So this will help with that if nothing else. And let's continue listening to the song we were just hearing from the movie aparnaonradio.
போடவா நான் பாடவா பாட்டு பாடி ஆடவா.
Well, that was Apane from the movie aparnaonradio. 70s la vanda padam idu. Balasubramaniam SPB oda voice and P Sushila oda voices you just heard. And I don't know if you got to hear P Sushila's voice at all because it was running in the background, but she is the singer, the other singer in this song. And Ilayaraja oda composition this is. Pulliyar Chaturthi or anything connected to Pulliyar Vandale, if there is a Tamil song that comes to mind, this is usually one of the first songs that comes to anyone's mind. Strangely, there aren't very many Pulliyar songs that are fun in Tamil movies. At least I'm not able to think of more than 3 or 4, and I wouldn't even call them all fun. There is a hero song, Pulliyar Patti Hero Needampan or part irke, which I'll play a little bit of a little later. But this movie itself, aparnaonradio, if you remember, it was a Rajini movie, huge hit. And those days you had this production house called Devar Films, which brought animals to movies, and it was a lot of fun to watch then. But again, when you watch it now with the sensibilities you have now, it's really difficult to watch many of them. I tried watching aparnaonradio recently about a year ago, and impossible. I couldn't watch it. I didn't want to watch it because in the starting scene itself, the title credits போறதில்லையா மூவியோட ஸ்டார்ட்ல அப்பவே you see Rajinikanth on a bike and or not on a bike, on a jeep, and he's a hunter in this movie. His whole job is to trap animals and sell them. That's how he makes a living, and he kind of has a change of heart later on, and tries to unite a baby elephant with his mom and things like that. So that's how the movie goes, but the start of it is pretty gory. There is a start where after the credits, where you see him chasing many animals. There are plenty of jeeps behind him too. When the movie starts itself, you see him chasing, he's on a jeep, sitting on the bonnet of the jeep actually, and he is chasing. I don't remember whether it was a cheetah or a leopard, definitely a spotted big cat, and he's trying to lasso it. And this was so hard to watch for me. I was like, my god, that animal is being tortured, and you don't realize all this when you're younger. You don't think about these things, but when you grow older and when you see all this, you're like, okay, this was not a fun watch. Devar films was not really a fun watch. I don't know yenna pado poi thirumi paatena, because there are so many movies, right? You have Aburu Sahodaragal, in which you had animals. You had MGR or many movies which had animals. So many movies. Ram Lakshman, another Kamal movie which had animals. So Devar films were pretty huge in those days. So if you go and look at it with a new eye, with the new awareness that you have as an adult, will you still like those movies where those animals treated well? And they got away with it at that time. If they had released Anne or Alyam this time, in the current age, definitely it wouldn't have gotten a censor certificate, and PETA would have come down very heavily on them for sure. You'll have lots of animal rights activists going about banning the movie and things like that. So they did manage to get away with it, and made a very hit movie back then in the days. But the movie itself is fun. Rajinikanth is always a delight to watch, and this was his movie, and he had the charisma. Rajini in the olden days, I mean, the suave, the charm, all of that was intact, and he was a delight to watch at any time. In the song itself, if you heard the song Podava Thoppukaranam Podava, we all know as Tamilians that Thoppukaranam is what you do when you come in front of Puliyar, and Thoppukaranam is basically holding crossing your hands, holding right hand to the left ear and left hand to the right ear, and then doing squats, sitting and getting up is what Thoppukaranam is, and that is what you do for Puliyar, because I don't really know why everybody does that. So you just cross your arms, hold the earlobes, like I said, right to the right hand to the left ear, left hand to the right ear, and between the tips of the thumb and the forefinger. That's what you have to do. Then you bend your knees and get up. Do this at least 3 times. So this is the Thoppukaranam for people who are not familiar with it. And this is interesting because now in the West, it is known as super brain yoga. I've been reading about, I came across this super brain yoga, and people are talking about how this is beneficial for not only students, but also adults who seek brain wellness into their senior years, patients who have Down syndrome, it's beneficial, Alzheimer's, other cognitive delays, it is a cure. It could be a cure, is what is told. And it's interesting because, this has been coming on for centuries back in India, and suddenly the West is discovering it and calling it an entirely new name. But the point is to do it. It doesn't matter what you call it. And there is this interesting story that I read which is associated with the Thoppukaranam, and I'm going to tell you what that story is. But first, a quick look at a song that I mentioned earlier, and full song ille like always, but I'm going to play that for you, and you can listen to the full song on your own. All right, here it comes.
Rio que pasa?
Rio que pasa? Rio que pasa? Rio que pasa? Rio que pasa? Player batti hero ni dampa, Ganesha ni karuna vichara no hero pa. Rio que pasa? Rio que pasa? Player batti hero ni dampa, Ganesha ni karuna vichara no hero pa. Outdoor almara, outdoor samara, all round ni dampa Ganesha. Young girlfriend said to me Ganesha, Japan எப்பா எப்பா தொப்ப கணேசா எனக்கு அப்பா அம்மா நீதான் கணேசா எப்பா 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 தொப்ப கணேசா எனக்கு அப்பா அம்மா நீதான் கணேசா Leo que pasa Leo que pasa.
Like I said, that is just a scooty song bite for you to hear the song in case you've not heard it before. This is from the movie Vaanmati, 90s la vanda padam this is, and the music is by Deva. The singer was also Deva in this song and is picturized on Ajit Kumar. So anyway, na Thoppukaranam story solnen I told you, yeah. So let me tell you what the story is. So apparently, Gajamukhasura, an Asura king, was an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva. He did a lot of penance to please him. Pleased with his devotion, Lord Shiva appeared to grant him any wish that he desired. So Gajamukhasura asked for a boon that he should not be killed by either Deva, man or Asura or any form of weapon. So of course Shiva granted him the boon and it made him very powerful, and he captured all the Devas from Devaloka. And he made them do thousands of Thoppukaranams every day as a sign of subservience to him. The Devas were miserable, and Lord Shiva came to know of their plight. So he sent Lord Ganesha to rescue the Devas. Lord Ganesha defeated the Asura army, and Gajamukhasura decided to go to the battlefield and fight Lord Ganesha by himself. His wife Priyamvada begged him to reconsider his decision as Ganesha was Lord Shiva's son. But Gajamukhasura was confident and the typical husband who wouldn't listen to his wife. So he went ahead and went to the battlefield. He was confident that the boon given by Lord Shiva would save him. So he went off to fight Lord Ganesha. Priyamvada, who was a devotee of goddess Durga, surrendered to her and sought her help. Therefore, Durga went to the battlefield and protected Gajamukhasura. Ganesha wanted to know why his mother was protecting the evil Asura. I mean, this is so not cool, right? I mean, he's fighting with somebody and his mother is protecting that someone. So how is he supposed to carry on with the fight, right? Kudumbatla Korpam, as they say. Durga explained that Priyamvada was her devotee and hence it is her duty to save the husband. So Lord Ganesha sat and thought of a way to both defeat and save Gajamukhasura. He broke his tusk and flung it at Gajamukhasura, who took the form of a rat to escape the tusk, as he knew it could kill him because it was not a weapon, and Ganesha's form was that of an animal, human and Deva combined. On seeing the great Asura king Gajamukhasura become a rat, Lord Ganesha became compassionate and sat on him to subdue his ego. Gajamukhasura felt humbled and surrendered to the Lord, who made him his Vahana. Priyamvada's wish was also granted as Gajamukhasura became immortal in the form of Lord Ganesha's Vahana, which is the Mushika. So the Devas were very happy and said that they would continue to do the 1,000 Thoppukaranams imposed on them by Gajamukhasura in front of Lord Ganesha every day to show their gratitude. But Lord Ganesha told them that it was enough to do just 3 Thoppukaranams in front of him to receive his blessing. Hence the ritual of doing Thoppukaranam in front of Lord Ganesha began. எப்படி இருக்கு இந்த கதை இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்ல ஸோ கோ ஹெட் டூ தோஸ் Thoppukaranams even if you're not religious. This is supposed to be super brain yoga and you do want to keep your brain young and happening, right? So ஒரு குட்டி more song is coming away, but I'm going to say bye to you at this point. And if you enjoy these little snippets, these little sound bites, write to me aparnaonradio@gmail.com க்கு நீங்க எழுதலாம். இல்லைனா கமெண்ட் செக்ஷனில் எழுதலாம். லைக் அண்ட் ஷேர் ப்ளீஸ் so that I know what kind of material you like to listen to and I'll be motivated to do more of this stuff for you. Happy Vinayaka Chaturthi to all of you. Do not forget to post your pictures in the comment section. Take care. Thank you for listening.
முந்தி விநாயகரே வந்து வந்தெம்மை கண் பாருமே முந்தி விநாயகரே வந்து வந்தெம்மை கண் பாருமே 30 முக்கோடி தேவர்களே 30 முக்கோடி தேவர்களே எப்போதும் துணை வேண்டுமையா முந்தி விநாயகரே வந்து வந்தெம்மை கண் பாருமே 30 முக்கோடி தேவர்களே எப்போதும் துணை வேண்டுமையா முந்தி விநாயகரே வந்து வந்தெம்மை கண் பாருமே